It's Wednesday night at the Kingdom. Hi, I'm back, Jerry McLean here, coming to you tonight. I want to bring to you this evening the speech that I gave on Memorial Day out at the Montevallo National Cemetery out in Montevallo. And I'd like to share it with you because many of you are in distant places and you didn't get a chance to hear it perhaps, and I'd like to share it with you here tonight. Sit back, relax, and listen to the words that brought us together at the Montevallo National Cemetery in Montevallo. The sounds and smells of Memorial Day. In today's America, many would begin to think of barbecue, picnics, beaches, hot dogs, hamburgers, baseball, ice cream, and apple pie. Well, my good folks of Alabama, that's not Memorial Day. That's the American culture of today. Memorial Day is our most somber federal holiday. It is a day that our nation should pause and reflect on the ultimate sacrifice made by young men and women who died wearing our nation's uniform. Also, a day that we pause, pray, and reflect on the Gold Star spouses, Gold Star parents, Gold Star grandparents, Gold Star siblings, uncles, nephews, and nieces, who gave indirectly their precious loved ones to defend the freedoms we enjoy today. Memorial Day should be filled with the sound of aircraft flying overhead, loud motorcycles, smoke billowing from cannon fire, smell of gunpowder, 21-gun salute, precision movements, drill commands, laying of wreaths, the Pledge of Allegiance, the national anthem, the hand salute, taps, war movies, and yes, the voices of Homeland singing God Bless the USA. Now, we have laid the framework for all the traditional activities that says we are Americans. For now, we still hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they were endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Since the early days of the Revolutionary War, American soldiers have been writing letters that shared their fears, hopes for the future, and love with those who waited anxiously behind. One such letter came from one of our own of Pell City, Alabama. I quote, "If you are reading this, things did not go well. And you have to know that I am sorry. I have been your son, your brother, your cousin, your nephew, your grandson, your friend, your best friend, your comedian, your nuisance, and lastly, your soldier. I do not regret anything I've done. Even the mistakes make you who you are. Just know that if I die, that I did it trying to bring back as many people to their families as I could. I am sorry if I don't make it home to you. I love you all." His last journal entry the night before he died, quote, "I left out a lot of important people, but I hope none of you ever have to read or hear these words. May this be something I look back on and laugh. I love you all the same. Now I have to go and be a soldier. It's time for bed, or I won't be able to perform. I love you all dearly. Army Specialist Brian Alexander Vaughn of Pell City, Alabama. He was only 23 years old when he was killed in action by small arms fire in Ramadi, Iraq. Combat medic was taking part in Operation Iraqi Freedom with the 1st Battalion, 9th Infantry Regiment, 2nd Brigade Combat Team, 2nd Infantry Division. When you hear that all gave some, that's Veterans Day. But when you hear that some gave all, that's Memorial Day. Recently, I read a very disturbing and stunning poll released in March of this year. Long-held values like patriotism, religion, and community involvement are in retreat across America. The Wall Street Journal NORC survey found that just 38% of Americans say patriotism is very important to them, down from 70% who said the same in 1998. Being born in 1958, I was cultivated by my parents, grandparents, neighbors, church leaders, teachers, and television shows like The Dirty Dozen, The Green Beret, The Rat Patrol, Combat, Dragnet, Bonanza, The Big Valley, Laredo, Hogan's Hero, Andy Griffith, I Dream of Jeannie, Underdog, Hawaii, 5-0, The Rifleman, Star Trek, Roy Rogers, MASH, Benson, Different Strokes, Happy Days, $6 Million Man, Sanford and Son, The Flip Wilson Show, and many others. The American dream was in my bones, and I was born to wear that Army uniform. January the 20th, 1961, President-elect John F. Kennedy gave the most memorable and enduring inauguration speeches that call on all Americans to commit themselves to service and sacrifice. And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. He then continued by addressing his international audience, my fellow citizens of the world. Ask not what America will do for you, but what together we can do for the freedom of man. Today, I'm calling on the Veterans Administration, American Legion, the DAV, the VFW, the AMVETS, and all country-loving Americans to double down and reinvigorate patriotism in America. I want to say thank you, Barry Blunt, for keeping the memory of your son alive. He's buried in Section 8 of this memorial cemetery. In 1976, I stood in the reception station of Montgomery, Alabama, and took the oath of enlistment. I, Jerry Lewis McLean, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed over me, according to regulations in the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God. I wear this uniform today as a reminder that the oath was never rescinded. In 1989, prior to the invasion of the Republic of Panama called Operation Just Cause, I too wrote one of those letters in case I didn't come home. My letter resembled the words that you will find in many of these war letters. My love for family, my love for God, my love for this country, and to remember me. I thank God that my family did not have to endure the words of my letter without my presence. And I made it my aim to tell them in person what I had written in that last letter. Prior to leaving today, take time to walk through the memorial cemetery and pay particular attention to the head markers, date of birth, and the date of expiration. In many of these places, you will find that it's the young people that do the dying in these wars. Just remember they gave up 2 lives, one to our nation and the one they would have lived. Gold Star families, on behalf of a grateful nation and its people, thank you for giving us your sons and daughters. May your grief subside every honor and tribute to their sacrifice. In 2001, I turned in my M16 and took up John 3:16. One was designed to take life, and the latter to give life. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. For me, ladies and gentlemen, it wouldn't be Memorial Day if I didn't hear these words. No greater love than this, that a man would lay down his life for his friends. I want to thank my wife, Charla, and my family for being here today. My seamstress, Angela, my friends from Hoover Metro Kiwanis, Hoover Senior Center, and Matthew Blunt, Post 555. God bless you, and God bless the USA. Thank you for listening. God bless you. We'll see you next Wednesday night. Same bat station, same bat time. God bless you. Know that I am sorry. I have been your son, your brother, your cousin, your nephew, your grandson, your friend, your best friend, your comedian, your nuisance, and lastly, your soldier. I do not regret anything I've done, even the mistakes make you who you are. Just know that if I die, that I did it trying to bring back as many people to their families as I could. I am sorry if I don't make it home to you. I love you all. His last journal entry the night before he died, quote, left out a lot of important people. But I hope none of you ever have to read or hear these words. May this be something I look back on and laugh. I love you all the same. Now I have to go and be a soldier. It's time for bed. Still hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. They are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Since the early days of the Revolutionary War,